There is a small set of islands that are a part of Taiwan called Matsu, and they lie just off the coast of China. In fact, they are much closer to China than they are to Taiwan main island, making them what many call a front line and a border region between the two sides. So when residents of the island lost access to the internet and officials learned that the internet cables running under the sea and connecting the island to Taiwan was cut, it was easy to suspect that Beijing might have had something to do with it.
Already cut off by the sea, Taiwan's Matsu Island is now facing a digital blackout. Matsu lies close to mainland China. For internet, residents rely on 2 underwater cables that connect to Taiwan's main island. But the cables were cut 1 month ago. The 14,000 islanders are using a backup transmission for some limited access. But even so, it can mean waiting hours just to send a text.
The speed at which we receive online orders has become very slow. And the most troublesome thing is that customers can't make an appointment by phone.
Taiwanese authorities say they identified 2 Chinese ships in the locations of the cuts. The Coast Guard said they chased one ship, but it sped back to Chinese waters. And there is no evidence to directly show that Beijing is responsible.
We can't rule out that China destroyed these on purpose, because US Navy research shows that the countries in the world capable of destroying or tapping submarine cables are Russia and China.
Officials fear that Matsu is just a warning, and that internet connections to the whole of Taiwan could be under threat. Tension between China and the US has spiked over Taiwan. Washington does not have any official diplomatic ties with the island, but has vowed to defend it. US sources say Taiwan's president, Tsai Ing-wen, is due to meet with US House Speaker Kevin McCarthy in California. Last year, McCarthy's predecessor visited Taiwan, sparking Chinese military drills around the island. Beijing said it is seriously concerned by reports of Tsai's trip. China has never ruled out using force to bring the self-governing island under control.
No one should underestimate the strong determination and ability of the Chinese government and people to safeguard national sovereignty and territorial integrity.
A looming threat of escalation and isolation that's already a reality for Matsu Island.
Joining us by phone from Matsu is Wen Li, director of the Office for Taiwan's political party, the Democratic Progressive Party. That's President Tsai's party. Wen Li, hello. Thanks for joining us via an analog call and not a digital video chat like we usually do. So phone calls, it seems they're pretty okay.
Hello, Melissa. Thank you for having me. Well, phone calls are relatively more stable than video calls since we have been suffering from an extremely slow internet connection since early February.
Taiwan usually has some of the fastest internet on Earth. Have officials told any of you how long it'd take to repair the cables and bring it back to normal internet speeds?
So both the Matsu Islands and Taiwan as a country in general rely heavily on submarine cables to provide our internet connections. And at the moment, since Taiwan does not have its own submarine cable repair ships, we have to rely on the international repair ships. And currently, our repair ship for the Matsu Islands is scheduled to arrive in late April, around April the 20th. So that means a huge gap in time from early February to late April or even early May before the submarine cables are completely fixed.
Wen Li, you spend a lot of time on boats around Matsu. Who do you think was behind the cutting of the cables, or do you think it's possible that they could have been accidents?
Well, at the moment, we cannot rule out any possibility. According to the location records, we see that since 2 of the submarine cables were damaged in early February, one was damaged by a fishing boat and another was damaged by a cargo ship, and both boats were Chinese in origin. So at the moment, we do not rule out any possibility. However, I think it's important for us on the Taiwanese side to remain better prepared for any type of emergency and any type of situation where the security of our communications could be threatened.
Wenli, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck.